Wellington Dukes TV is brought to you by the Sandbanks Bar and Grill. Dukes fans, stop by the Sandbanks Bar and Grill on any home game night wearing your Dukes gear to receive 10% off your meal. The Sandbanks Bar and Grill, 153 Main Street, Wellington, Ontario. It's always better by the water. Welcome again to Wellington Dukes TV. I'm Jason Parks. Wellington Dukes TV is brought to you by the Sandbanks Bar and Grill, Main Street, Wellington. The torches have been put out and the search parties have been called back after losing 5 in a row. Dukes fans might have been worried Wellington had lost their stride. Well, the Dukes finally busted into the win column Wednesday in a wild game in Georgetown where they surrendered 5 goals in the second period but still managed to hold on. Let's check out the action from Wellington's wild win. Wellington and the Georgetown Raiders hooking up at a beautiful Mold Master Sportsplex in Halton Hills on Wednesday. Early in the first, the Dukes appear to go down 1-0 when Liam Board sneaks it through Tyson Teichman, but the Dukes netminder immediately refutes the goal, as does Chad Thibodeau, saying the net was off. The officials get together and make the right call, washing out the goal. Later in the frame, Trevor Cope will open the scoring with this effort, one of 2 Wellington goals in the first. Just a minute into the second, and the Raiders respond as Phil Kiss beats a screen Teichman, and it's 2-1. Wellington will get that back less than a minute later when Spencer Turcotte rips a puck past Michael Singh, and it's 3-1 Wellington. The score stayed that way until the final 4 minutes of the second when the game turned upside down. Once again, Teichman is screened, and this time it's John Adams with a blast, and it's 3-2. Just 25 seconds later and off the draw, Scott Emerson is allowed to plow to the Wellington net, and it's all tied up at 3-3. Wellington's looking good here about a minute later on this 4-on-1 rush, and they force Singh to make a nice save, but the puck gets back and turned back quickly, and it's Board off to the races with his first of the night, and the Raiders pull in front 4-3. Wellington responds, and Cope, after losing the puck, manages to corral it and slip it past Singh to tie the game back up at 4-4. But with the Raiders on the power play, Board scores off this blown face-off assignment for Wellington, and it's 5-4 Raiders after 40 minutes. The teams combined for 5 goals in a span of 2 minutes and 54 seconds. Wanting to put an end to a 5-game skid here and now, Wellington had Steeler resolve in the third. It's Andrew McCann following up this point shot and bagging his second of the night 8 minutes in to get the Dukes back to even. A couple of shifts later, McCann caps off the hat trick, tipping this Parker Wood shot from the slot, and that's the game winner with about 8 minutes left. Mike Soucier bags an empty netter late, and Wellington takes it 7-5. The Dukes hosting Aurora Sunday at the S-Rock Arena, with the Wellington looking to break a 4-game losing streak. The Dukes get to the Tigers in the first when Josh Saprika will slip the puck underneath Andy Monroe for a 1-0 lead. That's Saprika's first junior hockey goal. Later in the frame, Jake Gilmore, son of Maple Leaf legend Doug Gilmore, takes this terrible Wellington turnover and makes it into the Tigers' first goal of the evening. In the second, the Tigers draw a penalty off this rush and go to work on the power play. Robert Angiolella will redirect this past Teichman for a 2-1 lead for the visitors. Kelvin Higley would also score about 5 minutes later, and it was 3-1 Tigers. Wellington starts the comeback at the halfway point of the contest when Abbott Gerdukas tips this Joe McEwen shot, and it's 3-2. 4 minutes later, and it's Gerdukas tipping home this Kyle Pat blast, and the game is knotted up at 3-3. But Wellington would surrender the lead again in the period as Higley bags his second, again off a face-off, and it's 4-3 Tigers. Time winding down and the Dukes pressing, Kyle Leo drives Stephen Deeg into the crossbar to dislodge the net. Wellington was screaming for a penalty shot, but can't get the call, and the Tigers hang on to win 4-3. The Milton Icehawks were in town on Friday, their first visit to Wellington in several years thanks to OJHL interconference play this season. After Wellington was stymied by Ben Blacker in the first, we jump to the second where Stephen Deeg pounces on a loose puck to put Wellington ahead 1-0. Later in the second, Joe McEwen will collect this Andrew Copeland pass on the power play, and he beats a screen Blacker, and it's 2-0 Dukes. Time winding down in the second, and Wellington looking to go to the room up a pair, but Deeg gets too aggressive and whacks Blacker just after the whistle to earn a trip to the box at 1932. Just 4 seconds into the power play, Shane Bennett picks a corner on Tyson Teichman, and it's 2-1 Wellington, but the Hawks have life. Remember that sequence that got Milton's goal in the second? Well, here it is again. Deeg whacks Blacker as the whistle goes, and he heads off for a 2-minute minor. Milton takes 8 seconds this time to beat Teichman, and it's Elliot Kane with the goal, and it's 2-2, tied up. The game goes to a shootout, and with Wellington down after the first shooter, Trevor Cope makes a nice move to beat Blacker and tie it back up. After both shooters miss in the second, Elliot likes Cope's move so much he tries it himself and beats Teichman to go ahead. Mike Soucier needs to score to keep the game going, but his stutter move wrist shot is stopped by Blacker, and Milton takes it 3-2. The Dukes will head to Lindsay this evening to take on the Muskies, and then it's off to 16 Mile Arena to play the Oakville Blades Saturday night. Wellington is finally home Sunday evening for a big interdivision matchup against the Whitby Fury. Puck drop is 7 p.m. at the S-Rock Arena. For Wellington Dukes TV, I'm Jason Parks.